reason we hate the sound of our voice is because when we hear ourselves on a recording, that's not how we sound to ourselves. The way you sound to yourself, you have a deep, rich, Barry White voice, right? And the reason you have a different sounding voice to yourself is when you're speaking, the vibrations go through your bones and your muscles, and then it hits your ears. The vibrations of the sound is going through a more dense medium, which creates a lower pitch sound. So when you hear yourself via an audio replay, that's going through the airwaves. So your voice sounds thinner and higher pitch. So you immediately go, no. I don't sound like that. I sound like this. I don't sound like this. And they freak out. So that difference in the medium in which you're receiving the sound causes people immediately to reject because it actually does sound different. The reason why people don't like looking at themselves on video is because it's flipped the other way.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't look like that. Because you look at yourself in the mirror every day. Whereas on camera, it shows the way other people see you. Whereas when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's flipped. So your entire life, you've seen yourself a certain way, right? And you go, oh no, I don't look like that. So immediately people go, I look weird. I sound weird. So the thing you need to do there is desensitize it, mate. Just listen to yourself over and over. Like, do you listen to a podcast now and do you still freak out about your voice?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, right? Yeah, because you're desensitized. So what happens is a calibration happens. What you hear in your head and what you hear on an audio replay, the calibration starts to just do this. And then gradually you can't hear the difference anymore. And then when you look at yourself on camera and also in the mirror, the calibration starts to happen. You go, oh, that's me. Oh, that's just me.
Yeah.
But if you go through that, you get over it.
Yeah. It's all that discomfort in the beginning
yeah, it is.
that we all need to go through. So I was really fortunate because when I was 11 years old, my parents were so scared that I was so shy and so insecure that they forced me to go to public speaking school.
Yeah.
And so my school had an extracurricular activity with the London Academy of Music, Drama and Arts. For 7 years, I had about 3 sessions a week of 2 to 3 hours each. And you'd have to take exams. And the exams were pretty rigorous too. So every year you'd go to this exam and you'd turn up and the examiner would be in a room. And before you even meet the examiner, you could take a book.
Yeah.
It could be any book you wanted, but they were going to pick any page and ask you to read it in a emotive, dramatic, and powerful way. The next part of the test was they would give you a topic 15 minutes before. You'd be in a library and you'd have 15 minutes to prep a talk about the dangers of smoking or whatever it was, a topic that they'd picked. And you had to structure a talk out and the talk had to be 5 minutes long. The third part of it was you had a prepared presentation with visual aids and then you were tested on that, including the visual aids that you used. And it was uncomfortable. We'd be sitting in a class and remember, we're all like young teenagers at this point.